Hey guys, this is Chris for theMTGnoob.com. I am bringing you a deck tech for a Jund list. First of all, let's go through the mana base. As you can see, we're playing 24 lands, but there's a good reason for that. We have 4 Blood Crypt, 4 Dragon Skull Summit, 4 Rootbound Crag, 4 Overgrown Tomb, 4 Woodland Cemetery. Those are all of our sexy come into play tapped lands. And we have 1 mountain, 1 forest, and 2 Kessig Wolf Runs. Now, the reason for the season with such the short amount of land is right here. We're playing 4 Farseek and 2 Rakdos Key Runes, who doubles as mana and as a 3/1 first strike. Now, at first I didn't really like this guy, but the fact that he blocks so much on defense, like a Thragtusk and its token, or a Geist of Saint Traft, or anything, he just really kicks some butt, and swinging for 3 is not really too bad either. Let's talk about our planeswalker in our main deck, Vraska. Just more or less another removal spell. The destroy target non-land permanent is where you're really at, since the deck is slightly weak to artifacts and enchantments, and it kills other planeswalkers, which is always very nice. Let's go to the creature suite. 3 Olivias, 4 Huntmasters, 4 Thragtusks, and obviously the 2 Rakdos Key Runes. All of these creatures are extremely powerful for what they do. They just kick some major butt. They gain some life. They ping some things. They steal some stuff. It's really definitely nice. Let's talk a little bit more about your removal, and then we'll talk about your card advantage. So 3 Pillar of Flames is more or less a concession to humans and to white and red, blue, humans. I just wanted to get the card bigger and I couldn't multitask. Sorry about that. So Pillar of Flames just takes some stuff out early game and buys you some time. Then you have 4 Dreadbores. At first I felt like this was a little bit overwhelming. Like, oh, I don't want those, because there's a lot of 1-for-1 in this format. But when you're 1-for-1ing their Planeswalker for 2 mana, that's really very, very, very nice. Abrupt Decay can't be countered, so look out for that. And it really just hits things like Oblivion Rings, and it hits Detention Spheres, it hits opposing Underworld Connections or Lilianas, so you're very happy to have this card in hand. It doesn't kill Restoration Angel, so occasionally it makes you sad, but it's all good. Mizzium Orders as a 1-of, because you want to just sweep their board, and it takes out bigger butted things like Restoration Angel. It takes out Lockdown Smiter. It's really, really good. And finally, for sweepers, you have 3 Bonfire of the Damned. 3 always seem like the right number in any red control-ish kind of deck. Okay, finally in the main deck is our card advantage suite. We have Underworld Connections as a 1-of to draw you a card, which is really good. It's kind of hard to play it correctly when you have all different colors of mana, so keep that in mind when playing it. And finally, the reason you want to be running Jund colors outside of really sick creatures is Rakdos Return. This just is, sometimes it's just so good, especially against control decks. If they tap out for like a Planeswalker, like you'll kill their Planeswalker and steal their hand, and it's just amazing. If, of course, if you have enough mana. And it just really acts as a very late game fireball when you've brought them down close enough and you just top deck it. It seems really, really great. Okay, so let's talk about our sideboard here. 2 Appetite for Brains. Appetite for Brains is really good against control. It's also good against Jund itself, because as you can see, there's so many late game cards. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 Sever the Bloodline in the main, more or less for the removal suite, to kind of get angel tokens and Thragtusk tokens and things of that nature. Deathrite Shaman comes in as an extra kind of graveyard hate card. It's also good against cards that can't deal with it. It's surprisingly good against mono red, although with 1 you probably won't be drawing it too often. Golgari Charm is great against enchantments. It's good against really regenerating your creatures, but I really kind of like it for the -1/-1, especially against like spirit tokens and the early human rush. 2 Liliana the Veil, more or less a control card. It's kind of hard to bring it in against decks that have a lot of card advantage that can outdraw you, but it also deals well with Geist of Saint Traft, and it's pretty much your only out to Geist of Saint Traft, assuming you can't just straight up block it. Underworld Connections, you bring this in to try to get more card advantage to kind of even it out against the drawing kind of decks and the control decks. Slaughter Games, those are some creepy looking guys and gals. This comes in against any of the reanimator strategies. Neutering their Angel of Serenity really hurts them. Taking out their Unburial Rights is really, really good as well. So 3 of those. Zealous Conscripts steals Planeswalkers, steals creatures, gets through for that last few points of damage. Definitely very good. You're running 2. Garruk Primal Hunter, kind of more or less you want to make 3 threes. It's another outlet for card advantage, drawing you a card. When you're under no pressure and you're making beasts every turn, it's really hard for them to get rid of it. And finally, 1 Blasphemous Act, just more or less to deal with swarms of tokens. Okay, so this has been Chris for theMTGnoob.com. Please check out the matches and check out our website. Thank you.